Yes. And now I want you to turn to them and say, I support your dreams.
I support your dreams. I support your dreams. I support your dreams.
Awesome. So what's the first step to living a life of magic? Who knows here? What's the first step to living a life of magic?
Authenticity.
Authenticity. Thank you. What is it? Gratitude. Yes.
Love.
Love. Yes. But before all of this, thank you guys, there's one very important thing. It's saying, I need help. I need help. See, asking someone else for help is the most powerful thing we can do for ourselves. And not only for ourselves, when we ask for help, we make other people feel like they have a purpose in the world. What do we all truly want? To be loved, to feel love, to be accepted, to feel like somebody's listening. Now I want to take you back to being a child again, when you were just a little kid. If you played soccer or you did any kind of dance or anything, did you ever turn to see if your mom was smiling back at you? Did you guys? And then when you saw her approving face, you were like, oh my God, life is worth living! Right? So then what happened? We grew up, and then suddenly people started saying, ooh, that idea, I don't think so. Or, someone's already done that. Guess what? There wasn't Google before Google. Except they didn't do this good, so Google was like, let me show you how it's done. See, when we were kids, sometimes our parents, not knowingly, used the reward and punishment system on us. Why? Because they didn't know any better. See, they weren't conscious like us, realizing that we have to allow other people to live their own life and make their own decisions. They were trying to help us. How they thought they were trying to help us, they thought that was helpful. But see, the reason why we don't pursue our dreams is because we're afraid that our mom may not approve of us. It all goes back to childhood. How do our parents know how to raise us? Where do they get this information from? Their own parents, yes. And how many of those parents also didn't find a way to love themselves, to express themselves fully? We are the change, ladies and gentlemen. The fact that you are sitting here today means you love the shit out of yourself.
Yeah.
We are the change. We are the love. We are the mom's acceptance and approval, which we may have not gotten when we were kids. Can you find a way to feel that love, no matter what somebody says? See, other people project their own idea of life onto us from their memories, because the water inside of our bodies, it stores memories. So every single interaction we ever have comes from these memories, from our past. And when people do what they do, say what they say, they are always doing their best from the memories, from their past. See, most of us don't come from parents who are entrepreneurs, successful, right? How would we know how to be that way unless we witnessed it? Perhaps one. Oh no. She was nodding her head. How would we know how to be a certain way, how to be strong, if no one ever demonstrated to us how to be that way? We are that change. We are the ones to figure out that story that we keep telling ourselves day in and day out. That story that's stopping us, those beliefs that are stopping us from breaking free to be able to live a life of magic. To fully express ourselves, whether we want to write, sing, dance, innovate, create. What do you want to do? See, what happens to a person when they're really in their power, when they love what they're doing? What happens? Can you feel this energy coming out of my body right now? Can you feel the love? I mean, you can't freaking fake this. You can't. When somebody does what they love, they're living their soul, their truth, they're in their power, they're impacting 700,000 people positively. You want to be that? Yes. Yes? Do you want to be that change? Yes. Turn to your neighbor and say, you are the change, baby. You are the change, baby. And now look at them and say, you better believe it.
You better believe it.
So how can I support your dreams? Who do you need in your life that will support your dreams? Who is on your team? Because you know we can't do this alone, right? Yes. No one can do it alone. So don't even try. Ask for help. So the reason why we feel angry, the reason why I used to feel like I was angry, is because of my memories. I didn't have a good childhood growing up. My mom was projecting her own agenda onto me, and I took that personally. So my whole life I felt like I wasn't good enough, and I wrote about it in the book, The Girl with the Buddha Tattoo is one of the books on Amazon that I wrote. My whole life I felt like I wasn't good enough because my mom said if I'm not a doctor, lawyer, or engineer, then I might as well be nothing. Who here can relate with this? Anyone's parents said you have to be a certain way? But what happens if you fulfill these benchmarks and then you wake up and you're like, I'm not happy? What happens now? Oh no. See, we weren't taught to believe that we are limitless beings. We weren't taught to think like this in school. We weren't taught to figure out a way how to help our family when they're in times of need. Does history, math, physics matter when your family is sick? When you have a friend dying? Does your job, your salary matter if your loved one is right there on their deathbed? Or do you want to try to help them? See, when it starts to hurt, it's too late. And this is why we are standing here now and doing this, is to be able to heal ourselves before it starts to hurt. Is to be able to find our happy, our joy, regardless of what anyone else thinks, because this life is not about anyone else but you. You. Your wisdom, your talents, they make this world a better place. See, there's one very powerful thing you can do. is to really sit down and figure out your vision. But before you do that, what is your definition of success? I welcome you to close your eyes for just a minute. And just take a deep breath. And just think about this question. What is success? What does it mean to be successful? How can I feel in such a way that I feel like I am truly alive? That I wake up in the morning before the alarm and I am so excited about the magic that's about to unfold. What am I doing right now that's disconnecting me from feeling this way? Whose thoughts are in my head? What fears do I have that are preventing me from enjoying this amazing, delicious, beautiful life? How can I find a way to get out of my head and be fully and totally present in this very still moment when I realize that I am everything, that I am loving, that I am forgiving? What is your definition of success? What is your vision? You can go ahead and open your eyes. What is this vision? Whose life do you want to transform? Has anyone here ever made someone else's day better and it made them feel good? So is life about anything more than figuring out how to help others? Every single thing in this room was created, the chairs, the shoes we wear, the clothes, the stand, to make our life better. Every single thing here is a creation of love. See, we think love is somewhere out there, hoping that our dream person will come and sweep us off our feet. But we are our dream person. We sweep ourselves off our feet. Love is not somewhere out there. We're not going to be happy once we get an X amount of dollars in the bank account, unless we figure out how to be happy now. Then the money comes and everything comes. Because when you come back to that state of innocence, to that state of bliss, you're really living from the inside out, in your truth, speaking from your heart. When you need an investment, do you think an investor would say yes? Hell yes. Do you think if you ask somebody, can you help me? Come with me, I want to change the world, make this world a better place. Do you think they'll say yes or no? See, there's only two reasons why people say no to you. If you ask them for help, advice, money, what are they? The first reason, you haven't learned how to believe in yourself enough. Agree? The second reason, you're not in resonance with that person. If you don't resonate with the person you're speaking with and you're asking them to help you with something, you don't want to work with them because it's just going to be like butting heads. Has anyone ever experienced intuitively not wanting to work with someone and you still work with them for the money or whatever reason? And how much headache did that cause? Could you have gotten like 2, 3, 4, 5 clients at the same time? See, we come from this place of scarcity, even though we intuitively already know what we're supposed to do. So what's it going to take for you to trust your intuition? To trust that little voice within that says, you're going to be all right. To make just another phone call, to meet just another person, to ask just another person for help. See, I could have stayed being that little angry girl hating the world, but I decided I wanted to figure out my purpose here. I wanted to figure out why some people leave and some people stay. And there's something more important than food and exercise. It's your mental state of being. It's finding a way to figure out where these past stories that keep replaying like a broken cassette in your head are coming from. Because when you can figure out what these stories are, you can rewrite them. Just like what Haim said. Haim, right? Am I saying right? Jaime said, I'm sorry. You can rewrite the story. You can change the thoughts. And then you can begin through your daily rituals to repeat a brand new story. See, we always operate from our subconscious. And we can change it by reprogramming every day. We're like a computer with an old operating system, and we can put a newer operating system into our own hard drive by inputting a brand new story. Create a new story about your mom by saying, my mom loved me the only way she knew how. This is how she loved me. And repeat that new story. Create a new story about your dad. He loved me the only way he knew how, and this is how. And repeat that new story. Create a new relationship. If the relationship between them was dysfunctional, a relationship that you can envision that is true for you. This is your world, your imagination. See, when you can heal that past, when you can rewrite your story with your mom, with your dad, their relationship, then you can begin to create your life. You're no longer operating from a place of automatic responses, but you're becoming proactive. See, what bending reality is learning how to manipulate energy. Does everyone here agree that everything is energy? Anyone? Raise your hand. So when an energy comes towards you, somebody who's probably had a really hard life, a really hard day, and they're bringing that energetic bomb right at you, you can feel it. It rattles your heart. See, you're tempted to respond in that moment, but this moment is a gift for you. It's a gift for you to figure out how you can transform reality and literally bend it and change the outcome of the situation. See, somebody comes at you with anger. You can feel that anger. It hits you somewhere, usually in the stomach. You can feel that energy and your heart is beating at that moment. You can let that energy disperse through you. Using deep breath, you bring your heart back into alignment. And now when you speak from that calm place, no matter where that person is coming from, you just changed reality. You just bent energy. You just transformed the whole situation and brought it back to balance. Could you do that? Yeah. Could you try a new way of living? See, to change your life takes one interaction at a time. Because first you feel like the victim. because you take things personally, you get angry. Because if you're no longer angry, now you can figure out what a real outcome you want. And let's say you're going to a group of investors, you can literally take yourself to the result of the meeting before you're in the meeting. See, you can only get there if you've already been there. Wherever you want to go, whatever your magic place is, you first have to get there with your mind. If you can get there with your mind, and you can truly feel it, and then go back to that place of knowing that it already happened every single day with your daily rituals, you align yourself with your purpose. You align yourself energetically to be in a balanced state. Who here wants to live a more peaceful life? Turn to your neighbor and say, "You are peaceful, baby."
You are peaceful, baby.
I mean, isn't that what we all ultimately want? Is to feel peace, stillness, express ourselves, and be rewarded abundantly for it? Aren't we the only reason that we're not where we are trying to be? Daily rituals, ladies and gents, every morning. What you do at the beginning of every day sets the tone for your day. See, if your heart is beating, that means there's still a reason why you're here. What is that reason? Because tomorrow it may not beat. Time is not guaranteed. Life is a gift. I just want to remind you guys today how amazing and perfect you are. That each one of you holds keys, some information, some wisdom that others need to know about. What is that wisdom? What is that self-expression? How can you find a way to love yourself every day, to choose yourself first? No matter what someone else says or does, you always choose yourself. If your friends are going out partying, but you intuitively don't want to go because you have something that makes you happier, do you choose yourself in that moment? Or do you feel guilty and go, knowing you should be somewhere else instead? I want you to remember that this life is about you and you and you and you alone. Because when you come back to yourself, when you express yourself fully, you transform this whole world. You make this world a more beautiful place. So reprogramming your operating system, it's like a computer, and you know how the Macintosh used to be very big and bulky, just like the phones used to be. And when you start repeating a new program every day, a new story about your parents, keeping eye on your vision, and I have a vision board, if you want to get it out, I'll demonstrate. Keeping eye on your vision, then you slowly figure out every day that you are the only one holding yourself away, thank you, from your vision. Has anyone here ever created a vision board? Yeah, baby, you guys are awesome. Turn to your neighbor and say, "You're awesome."
You are awesome.
Why is the vision board so important? Because Because it keeps you in alignment with your goal. Because how many thoughts we have a day? Who's that? 70,000. Oh, God, that's a lot. And majority, how many are negative? Like 70%? 80% negative? 70% is negative. Ooh. But do you realize that everyone has the same exact thoughts? Do you realize that you are one with everyone and every feeling and emotion that you have is valid because everyone else has that feeling and emotion too? Do you realize that nothing happens in your head, but rather everything that's in your head is actually outside of your head, projected through other people? Have you ever noticed that the words that were in your head suddenly come through someone else? Have you? It's your thoughts that created it. And even when there are unwanted circumstances, it's your thoughts that created it. To change your thoughts is to reprogram the mind, is to repeat every day a new thought, is to keep focused. Is anyone here familiar with Newton's scale, the vibrational scale of consciousness? The vibrational scale of consciousness, Newton's, raise your hand if you're familiar. Awesome. So it says to get into the flow state, you gotta be at the higher vibrational states. But first you gotta get through the lower ones to get up. Just like clearing the chakras, your energetic fields, you cannot get up to being enlightened, to being in peace, unless you've gone through these lower vibrational states. Why? Why do you have to face your fear and walk through the door anyways? Face the emotion of guilt, face the emotion of shame, because you're one with the universe. And unless you can feel all emotions, you will not understand where others are coming from. So to get up to the higher vibrational states, to literally be in the flow and have everything you want happen to you all the time, manifesting your dreams within seconds. What's happening to me right now is you have to face your shadows. You have to sit with your shame, with your guilt, with these fears all the way, with that anger. Allow it to be. Because when you have felt the feeling through all the emotions, and you've passed that feeling, you've elevated yourself on the scale of vibrations, and now you're feeling better, you know where people are coming from. See, we've come here to realize the self, the amazing, magical, powerful beings that we are. But we have to feel all our emotions in order to be able to tap into this process called flow, to realize our vision. Can you take some time throughout your week to feel your emotions fully? To figure out what still keeps replaying in your life, coming back again and again because you haven't dealt with it yet. Okay, we just have a few more minutes left, and I want Kwong to guide us in a little exercise. Come on, Kwong, I love you. Give him a hand. Give him a hand. Come on.
Great job, Dasha. Thank you for the introduction. So she was talking about unleashing your magic and having a vision for your life. And she also talked about how we can't do it alone. Close your eyes for a second and tap into what your vision for your life is. How do you want to show up in the world? What do you want to create? How do you want to be? What relationships do you want to mend? What's your vision for your life, your family, your community, the world? Hold that in your heart and feel how big some of these visions might be and how impossible some of it might be. Open your eyes. Hold that in that place in your heart. We can't do it alone, and I want you to feel what it feels like to be courageous enough, to be humble enough to ask for support. So what I'd like to do is, let me see how many people, about 40, split into groups of about 6. So we're going to form a group of 6, and then I'll explain this process here. Just pick a group of 6 and form a group of 6. We're going to stand up for this process, so maybe find some room. So I want you to feel what it feels like to be courageous enough, to be humble enough, to ask for support, and also receive it from your team, your community, your family, whoever you ask for support. So, great, are we in groups of about 6? Okay, great. So, tap into your dreams, tap into your vision, tap into your magic, and we're gonna unleash your magic, and then we're gonna go out in the world and ask for support. So the first one in the hot seat gets to go in the center of the circle in the group. You're going to make eye contact, tap into your vision, your dream for your life, what you want to create in the world. Eye contact with each and every person, and you're going to ask one simple question. Will you support my dreams? And really ask in a way that you will receive a yes. And the person being asked the question, don't sell out on this person. If they're asking in a way that you don't believe them, then say no. Because that's what's going to happen in the world. I want them to feel, I want the person in the hot seat to feel what it feels like to truly own your power, own your vision, own your purpose, and ask confidently, ask courageously, and then receive the support with a yes. And once you get all the yeses, and then you repeat the process for everybody. Ready? Yeah. Okay, first one in the hot seat. You're up.
What's that? You go.
Anybody can go first. Be courageous. Just one person at a time. Connect to your dream. And then eye contact with the first person. Will you support my dream?
Will you support my dreams?
Beautiful.
Will you support my dreams?
Who's next? All right, next person.
Will you support my dreams?
Tap into your dreams, your vision, your magic.
Yeah.
Yes. Will you support my dreams?
Will you support my dreams? Will you support my dreams?
Ask powerfully, ask courageously, ask humbly. Own that vision for your life, yourself. Will you support my dreams?
We had a vision. Yes. But now, we have an opportunity to do that. Yes. So my goal is
Beautiful. Yes. Yeah.
We didn't make a very good service.
but we're going to support fundraising and logistics.
Would you support my dreams?
Yes.
Would you support my dreams? Would you support my dreams? Would you support my dreams? Would you support my dreams?
Yeah, right? Oh my God, yeah, okay.
Vision is near and dear to your heart.
Yeah.
Ask confidently. Who do you need to be to get a yes?
Would you support my dreams? Would you support my dreams?
Beautiful. Connect to your dream, connect to your heart, connect to your vision. Yes. Family, your community. Thank you for the.
No, until you get in the circle.
Will you help me and support my dream?
Absolutely.
Thank you very much. Will you help me and support my dream? Thank you very much. Will you help me and support my dream? Thank you very much. Will you help me and support my dream? Thank you very much. When you're complete, just turn around. Acknowledge the rest of your group with a group hug or however you feel. Soak in the support. Thank you, group. When you're complete, you can go ahead and have a seat. So how did that feel to ask powerfully, ask confidently?
We have one more.
Oh, one more, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Absolutely. Give me your contact info and I'll do some I absolutely support you. Good luck. Lisa. Lisa.
I want to say while we're in this support, I love the fact that we guys know. Thank you guys.
We're gonna wait for the final group.
So the question is just, will you support my dream? And just get yeses from you.
Guys,
Are you complete?
are you complete?
Great. So, yeah, as you go out in the world and unleash your magic, know that you can't do it alone. And on behalf of Dasha Love and myself, Kwang Nguyen, go out and unleash your magic.
I just wanted to say my website is dasha.love. I got a couple business cards. And I wanted to say thank you. You see what it's like to go out and ask for help. A couple days ago, I was like, Kwang, will you come with me? And then I was like, oh, how about you lead something too? That's teamwork. I love you guys so much.
Thank you, Dasha. Thank you, Dasha. Does anybody want to take a 2-minute break to use the restroom?
Yeah. Bathroom keys.
Come here. I'll take it.